all right. What's going on? What I miss?
Nothing.
What happened?
A lot of action with the Phillies today.
Oh,
What is that? 13 nothing. They brought
Yeah.
Yaz's kid in to pitch.
Yeah.
That's so disrespectful. I'm sorry. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that. But anyway, is he not their starting left fielder anymore?
No, he is. Yeah, left fielder, right fielder, but yeah, he's definitely.
I don't appreciate that. He was warming up. He must have pitched somewhere in his life, and he was pitching like a pitcher.
Right.
And then Matt Chapman came over to him and said, "Dude, just lob it in there. Don't throw your arm out."
Exactly.
Crazy. Anyway, Wednesday night, this fan's you. We're all back home.
Yep. Yes, we
yes,
are.
we are.
For the last time for a little bit.
I don't like that, but anyway, we had fun last week, didn't we, Lauren?
It was good.
We had fun.
It was good. Yep.
We had fun.
Yeah, it was a good spot.
We had fun. Johnny, how's fantasy baseball doing?
Doing good for you. You're moving up in the world.
Well, finally, some of my guys decided to show up and
Yeah.
make me believe.
Yep. You're moving up there. You're eighth spot there. So you're in the top 8 now. So good job.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, look at that Jen O'Brien.
I know
Wow.
she's sneaking back in there.
Wow. Wow, look at her.
Yeah. Paul Downey has the lead there for the second week in a row, and Joe Tomczak's hanging around. He was there, had the lead there for about 4 or 5 weeks, and he's sneaking back up there as well. And,
Okay.
so yeah, I drop back down to what's that 11th or 12th spot there. So
I don't see the other Mrs. O'Brien.
no, she's below the Titanic right in the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
that's not nice.
oh yeah, she's so far down. Well, you know what? It was funny because she stayed the same, but I think she's like in 44th spot. She was saying, I think, because she messaged me. She goes, because I told her the spreadsheet was changed, and I said, go look at it. She goes, you had the same scores in for last week because I'm still at 44, and I'm like, no, you just stayed there, but your numbers changed. So yeah. These are the things that the commissioner has to deal with.
Yeah, well,
Somebody's got to do it, I guess.
that's why you get paid the big money.
That's right.
Welcome, Joe Stinger. Question number 1 is when is Joe Stinger heading to Delco? I know it's July. We got to be getting close, right?
It should be this week because I think he was going to be around potentially for next week show, the live show.
Gotcha.
Maybe over this weekend. I think it was like the 18th, 19th. No,
I'm not sure. I think
leaving Friday. There you go.
Friday. Okay, so that means he's usually a 2 or 3 dayer, so we'll see him by Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Very cool. Drive safe, Joe Stinger.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Those who had Bryce Harper was doing good with the fantasy baseball today.
I was kind of like hedging that it wasn't going to be a very good day today, but the Phillies decided to bring out their bats.
Yeah.
So
kind of ruined my rant for today. But.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going with it. So because this team is so unpredictable, it's ridiculous. Now I'm like you guys have reversed because Anthony's usually on the other side.
I know. Sorry.
Okay, I just
the mojo for the show's a little off.
Yeah.
We're also on the other side of where we normally sit because normally you can see our front door behind us. But I knew he was going to be coming in later. And before the show, you heard about our garage debacle. So we're trying not to go in and out of that because it's a pain in the butt. So we got a lot of problems over here at the Pignetti household.
Sure do.
Well, if all it is a garage door opener, that's not a lot of problems.
It's not. That's not the only problem. So, no. I'm a little bit more grounded than that.
Just that.
That's not that. It doesn't take one thing to throw me off kilter. It's a few other things. So.
Well, it sounds like you better get on the phone with your mechanic and get him on the calendar.
But he said he's got to talk to you.
Yeah, yeah, like I'm somebody. I'm somebody.
Uh-huh.
All right, where do we want to start?
Oh, we got All-Star nominations, maybe? With Josh Schwarber and Zach Wheeler?
The background noise wants to start with the player of the game he had 3 doubles and a home run today. So she thinks he should make the All-Star team.
There you go. He can be a replacement.
There he is, doing an interview.
Well, we got a new nomination for the All-Star today with Adam, the bat boy.
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
How about that? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Does anybody know how to pronounce his last name? I was trying to, but I got no shot.
I know. That's why I just said Adam. I didn't want to disrespect the kid. He got the All-Star vote. So.
Well, is he still a kid? Isn't he like 25?
He is 25, but that's still a kid for.
So help me out because I didn't know it was a thing. You know, when did they start bringing their bat boys along?
I don't know. I think this might have been the first year, or at least the first year I've heard that they were doing the votes for it.
Okay.
You know, because people assumed it was going to be the Atlanta guy for the National League just because he was there, but
right.
But the divisional rival got it. So good job for Adam. He does a lot.
You think that was a lot of Philly votes pouring in?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, what happened? I kind of cut you off. You wanted to go Schwarber and Wheeler as our All-Stars.
Yeah.
What happened? I mean, how does Turner not make the All-Star team?
Well, I think the one scenario they were talking about that might have been because of Brandon Donovan. He was the only one for the Cardinals, and he was the infielder for the Cardinals, so that kind of forced him out, maybe just because they had to get a Cardinals onto the team.
Okay, so leading the league in hits, and I don't know what else is he leading the league in.
Well, I mean, a lot of different avenues that he's got, extra base hits and that kind of stuff, and but he even say Sayaki, the guy from the Cubs, he has the RBI lead, and he didn't get on the team as well. And it's one of those things. It's a numbers game, unfortunately. If you're not voted in, and it's kind of a crapshoot. Christopher Sanchez kind of is in the same boat because he's pitching Sunday. So typically that screws you up for not being in the game for the All-Star game, because as far as a pitcher, because you're not going to pitch. It would have been nice to see him be voted, or picked as one of the starters, and then they pull, replace him with somebody else, like he got on there last year doing it that way.
So is Wheeler going to be the starter for the game?
That's a great question, because it's coming down to him or Paul Skeens for the Pirates. It seems like, and everybody, Major League Baseball, I think, wants Paul Skeens because of his phenom status himself, and he's pitching well. He just doesn't have the wins because of the team he's playing for, but he's right there,
Yep.
in a lot of other categories that probably going to be another one stealing the Cy Young award away from Zach Wheeler, unfortunately.
How crazy would that be? He doesn't even have a 500 record.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, what was it? Jacob deGrom, I think, won it. Didn't he? Didn't he win the Cy Young the one year with the Mets with the under 500 record? And
I don't know. I don't understand baseball anymore with all this analytic bullshit, and it's crazy.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy.
And talking about that, you see the new rule change they just put in there for today for the All-Star game?
You started to tell me about it today, and then I don't know what happened. So they're going to go ahead. Why don't you discuss it?
Well, they're going to have the what's it? The
call challenge.
Yeah, challenging the call for
like they did in spring training.
Exactly. They're gonna do that now for the All-Star game, I guess, because of all the uproar from the Phillies game and a lot of the other games as well this past year so far. And then they were talking about seeing how it was going to work, and then they may even do it starting as early as next year in baseball. So did you hear anything about that, Ant?
Yeah, I mean, not anything definitive, but I've heard that that's one of the things that they'd like to start using for next year. I don't know if that's going to be allowed or if they have to wait to the end of next year is when the player agreement with the Major League Baseball expires at the end of next season. So
right.
I don't know if they're going to try it again in the All-Star game, spring training, and then I don't know that they're allowed to do it just yet, but I imagine that's one of the things they could do towards the end of next season once everything is kind of starts again as far as discussions go.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that works though, because just look at, for instance, the Phillies game there with Kirkland in the eighth inning there, through 3 strikes. So there's how many challenges do you get? It's he threw 3 of them that should have been strikes that weren't called, and do you allow them to keep calling it as long as they get them right, or
well, I think
the
players are definitely going to want it. I mean, you saw in spring training the amount of times that they called for. I know it was just you're just practicing, but they called for it, and
right.
And then a lot of times the umps were wrong. Not every time, but a lot of times the umps were wrong. So I imagine they would add that in because that could be crucial to a game in certain situations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, just look at that Phillies game. In that one game alone, they had 5 of them in the last inning and a half of the game. That a couple on with Harper and then Ryan Kirkland. But that's what I mean. Like, how do you justify it, or what do you put on?
They're gonna have to be pretty. They're gonna have to be pretty. Like the rules are gonna be pretty important. I mean, you're gonna have to stick to them.
What was the exact rule in spring training? Help me out.
That's what I was trying to think. I didn't know if they had like a limit, like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
I think it was only a limit if you got them incorrect.
Yeah, let's say you had. I'm making this up. Let's say you had 3.
Yeah.
If you got it, if the player got it correct, I think you still have 3.
You kept
it. Okay. Well, that makes it.
But again, that those rules might not be what actually happens when this goes into effect because they're going to play from certain all-star rules, and then after next year they're going to vote on it all. So it could change, but it gives you a little taste of it.
All right. Well, if there's anybody that's listening that's on board, it can clarify the spring training what they did down there. I'm not saying right or wrong because. What was the umpire's name the other night? Pulley?
Yeah, I forget his name. Yeah, he was an older guy too. He's like what?
He's the oldest umpire in baseball.
Yeah, taking over for Angel Hernandez now.
So he definitely.
Him and Harper have a lot of issues, going back, as well. In different.
Is that why? Bryce was so candid about, what the hell was his name? What was that umpire's name? Chris Pulley?
Maybe Joe Pulley.
Well, Bryce was pretty candid about, I don't have any issues with him.
Right. I actually.
And I was like, I'm chuckling. I'm like, wait a second. Is this the same guy that he's had issues with?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he has, yeah.
Him
and Hernandez are 2 guys that were Harper's guys that got on a lot.
But
you guys talking about Phil Cuzzy?
Phil Cuzzy, thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Pulley, Cuzzy, it's all the same.
Pirates game, right? No,
Phil
not always.
Cuzzy.
He does a lot of Pirates games.
He does?
Yeah.
Why, the old man doesn't like traveling?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he was out in San Francisco, so.
I don't know if he's just like on rotation and that just happens to be, but I feel like we see him a lot when we're there. I mean, we're only there 2 or 3 times a summer, so.
Right.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of local guys, but I mean, he was out in San Francisco as well. So.
All right, so let's jump to Bryce Harper a little bit because I don't know, John.
Definitely. Wow. Man, that ringtone is annoying.
Tell me about it, especially in the middle of the night. Unbelievable.
Anyway, going back to the automated balls and strikes. So for the All-Star game specifically, each team will be allowed 2 challenges per game, and they can keep them if they're successful.
Okay.
So
Clarification, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know
like
if that's how it was in spring training, but that's how it'll be.
I kind of think it was.
Yeah, it wasn't many. Like I said,
Yeah.
I was thinking 3 or 4 at the most, but
Right.
two could have been in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't much. I remember that's why I was saying, I didn't know if it was you were able to keep them or not. That's the important part, being able to keep them, because if not, in that situation with the Phillies, they could have been out of them and not still have the same issues.
All right. Well, we'll see. When is the All-Star game? Like next Tuesday, Wednesday?
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday. The best part of the All-Star game for me is the home run derby. I love the home run derby.
Oh yeah.
I love
Cruz is in it this year.
I just saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
So do we know all the candidates yet, or
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're all announced just yet.
I know that kid from Seattle, that Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Okay.
You just said Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
James Wood.
Okay, that's the rookie from Washington.
Byron Buxton.
Yeah, Minnesota.
That's
and Junior
Caminero.
Okay, thank you.
Is that all of them though? They just have 6.
He plays for the Rays.
There should be 8, I think, when it's all said and done. But
it looks like there's 6 right now. It doesn't seem like.
Well, I know they were asking Pete Alonso. He said no, so they're probably trying to fill in the last couple spots.
Right. Yeah. Schwarber denied it or declined it as well.
all right. So that's Monday. And then the futures game. There's a futures game, right? Is that still
That's Sunday?
Sunday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Futures game Sunday, and then they do the draft. What's it? Monday? Is it?
No, I think that's Sunday night after the game, isn't it?
Okay. So yeah, it's mixed in there within this weekend. So yeah, I wasn't sure exactly if it was Sunday into Monday, maybe.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they get the draft. Maybe it is, Sunday they do the first round or whatever, and then finish up on Monday before the home run derby.
All right. Well,
yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Since we have Anthony tonight, we haven't had him for a few weeks. Maybe he could bring us up to speed on the Reading Fighting Phils. Attendance still good. I know you got some big events coming up. Looking forward to wrestling night. What's going on?
How was July 4th? Well, July 3rd.
July 3rd was good. It could have been a little bit better, but we had 8,500 on the second, and 8,700 on the third. It was good. Those couple days were good. We had a lot of rain that 2 homestands leading up to it, so that was not helpful. We had more rain probably than we've ever had in the time I've been here. But
wow,
yeah, it was good though. Had a lot of good events, a lot of good giveaways. We have.
Well, they got rained out tonight down in wherever they're at.
They're in Maryland. Yeah. No, we got wrestling night coming up on Friday.
The 18th.
Yep, the 18th. Sorry, we're off this week. They're back to 18th, and then what's the Saturday promotion? Is it? I feel like Saturday is one of those specialty jersey nights. It's not Harry Potter, but it might be something else like that. I don't know if it'll say in here.
Okay.
No.
Now you guys are having the post game wrestling as well again on the wrestling.
Yep. That'll be Friday, and then I forget what else we're doing, but I know the week after that Friday, that's the Happy Gilmore, the Shooter McGavin night. So that's 2 bobbleheads, 2 Fridays in a row, and then we have a couple dog nights coming up the next couple Sundays. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, that's Saturday, July 19th is Margaritaville night. So they'll wear Jimmy Buffett style jerseys and have that type of music. So it's a lot of good things coming up. This Saturday and Sunday we have Burke Summerfest, where a group is renting out the uh, basically the plaza and the field, and they're having a big summer music fest. It's almost like Jazz Fest you would have in the wintertime. They have Summerfest at the stadium.
Now, is that open to the public, or how does that work?
It's open to the public. You would just go. I think it's maybe a $5 ticket or a donation to the Arts Council, and there's good music each day, so that's nice. And then that next Sunday after that, the 19th, is we were going to do just an Alec Boehm T-shirt, and I think Ryan in our store sort of redid the idea of the shirt and made it one of those ice cream style shirts that all the kids like. So a lot of good promotions coming up. We get to August. There's Harley Night, and there's different. Still,
Mickey Night.
There's a Mickey Mega Blast fireworks show. There's a Harry Potter fireworks show. There's a lot of good stuff coming up still. It's crazy though. We're on the back end. I mean, we have 9 games coming up starting the 18th, and then it's really just like maybe 3 homestands after that, just to finish it out. So
okay,
it feels like it's been a lot.
Sounds like you got a cold going on, so you must have been working your ass off.
Yeah, usually that's the case. I don't know if I have a cold. I hope not.
Do you?
I hope not. I don't know.
Just sounded a little nasally.
No, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
All good. All right. Well, we got a Reading update. How about a Bark in the Park and a Humane Pennsylvania update?
Bark in the Parks at the Fightin' started 2 Sundays ago, something like that. So that's good. That's always fun. There's always different types of dogs that come out for that. And next Saturday we have our big Pints for Pups event. So I've been working hard on that. That should be really fun. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. at our dog park in Birdsboro. So probably 20 minutes from the stadium, but heading towards Philly. So that's nice.
Yep.
But yeah, it should be a really good time. Tickets are still on sale if anyone on here is interested in coming out for it. We've got 2 different bands lined up to perform, so that should be a lot of fun, and lots of different beer samples. So it's a really good time. Even if you don't drink, we do have like mocktails and different drinks like that for folks. It's good for kids. It's good for dogs. So it's a really nice family event. We're doing it from 5 to 9 this year, which should be fun because it's kind of like an under the stars Pints for Pups this year. So hoping lots of people come out for it and keeping our fingers crossed that we have good weather.
There you go. That's always a big issue.
It is rain or shine, yes. Yep.
All right. Okay. We got a lot going on at Carl's Cards. We need an hour to go over everything. So just go to our website, check out everything. A lot of cool events. We got some great guests coming in, so we're going to be busy. But next Wednesday night, we're back at our Buffalo Wild Wings. Johnny, why don't you take it from here, because you talked to Kevin and you lined this one up, and I'm really looking forward to it. I wish Jack Fritz was coming, but I understand he's going to be on vacation.
He is. Yep. So we were talking with Kevin, and he's coming. He's the co-author of Ring the Bell. So he's going to come and talk about the book. He's going to have the books with him as well. And so it'll be good. And I think he's even going to get Jack to sign them, as well.
Awesome.
Beforehand. Awesome. So you'll get both signatures when you come.
Okay.
On that day. So.
All right.
That'll be good. The books are $32 or whatever they were, the hardback.
Yeah, it's a hardback book. I saw that, and not many freelancers go hardback because they're twice the money basically.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But
I
don't know. I personally don't know much about Kevin. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Exactly.
Jack's on WIP, on the midday show, and he's quite the character. I know Anthony. He's been out there in Reading, right? Didn't they?
Just out.
Yeah.
They had about 100 people. I would say. Do they have a podcast separately from a radio show?
Yes, they do. Yep.
I think they had a group of about 100 people a couple of weeks ago.
High Hopes is the name of their podcast.
Yep. They were taking photos and signing autographs, and and they had a good amount of people that came from Philadelphia, about 100 people. So it was nice. They were nice guys.
Good. Good. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We had to kind of switch gears a little bit because we were scheduled to have Larry Shank, and he's got family medical situation. I don't want to go into too many details. It's their personal situation, and he just asked if he could cancel out of this one, and we would reschedule. So. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. We're back at Buffalo Wild Wings. I feel like it's been a while because we go back to what June 4th.
Yeah.
When we had Dan Baker and
Dick
Dick Allen Jr., Richard Allen, Dick Allen's son. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, and it should be a good time. And then we're always working on guests for I guess August. So plenty busy at the store. The big one, was yesterday with Jalen Carter, and tickets have exploded on that one already. So,
oh yeah.
But yeah, go to the website, check it out, lock into your tickets. Mail order and drop offs are always welcome. So, be a lot of fun. So we're all busy in different directions here, but we always have the Wednesday night opportunity to come together. And how long have we been doing this now, Lauren? 6 years? 200?
October of 18.
Right. I mean, you started the show in, the blog, I think, in 2018.
Right.
So the shows followed shortly thereafter that. So yeah, I mean, you're on year 7 at this point.
Year 7.
Yep.
Wow, time flies. Time flies. But jumping back to next week, John and I were kind of goofing around today a little bit about, we've got some Ring the Bell merch that we're going to bring along to kind of like spin off of the book, because we've got Brad Marsh signed autographed jersey, Ring the Bell.
Nice.
So that'll be cool. And we've also got baseballs. So we'll make sure we've got a couple of those for our raffles, and be a lot of fun as usual.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
be good to see the inside scoops of the stories that he's got for the book and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's funny because I kind of the little bit that I kind of dug into them. They're fans just like us. That's
right.
That's where it all got started.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm sure he's got some great stories. And who was telling me, Lauren? Were you telling me earlier today? He wrote another book.
No, I was talking about that where he was.
Somebody was telling. I got a lot going on. So
this day in Philly sports or something like that. He had a couple of books like that.
Okay.
As well.
Okay.
That I had saw when I was doing a little bit of background on him. And
yep.
So yeah, it was.
All right.
It was interesting. Which again, it's kind of something that as you said, he's just a fan like us. It's just
yep.
It was always something. You always think about things, for the podcast and stuff, just, different things that you could add to the show and stuff. And that was really one of them as well. Like, what, this day in sports history, what happened or
yeah.
type of things.
Well, we've always done well with the book signings.
Yes.
Even going back to the store. I know we've done a couple of book signings at a couple of our other locations, and we've done well.
Yes.
People enjoy the books. They enjoy the stories. They love getting them autographed. So it's a great spinoff for just bringing people together. And we look forward to that. So
yeah, I'm sure we could probably put a link together or something for ordering some books too for people if they're not able to attend.
So Sean, he gives us a compliment. Carl's Cards is the best. And then he asks, who is the player, past or present, you wish you could have had at your store? I feel like we've had different versions of this question, We've had some good ones. Um, we've had some really good guests over the years. Well up over 1,000 now. Because we're now into our 31st year. So I don't know, Sean. I got to think about that a little bit. Um, the current players of today are they're a financial struggle to get. I won't mix any bones about that. With the fanatics of the world, they've got these guys all locked up. Um, and if you think I'm crazy, just go to your calendar and look at the show coming up. John, when is it?
The 19th, next Saturday.
The 19th, is that?
18th, 19th, whatever 18th, next Saturday 19th, is.
Whatever it is, down at Live Casino. And look at the prices of all the current fillies that are going to be there. So not to get away from, because we've had a lot of great guests, and we still playing on. We're not changing. Nothing's going to change. We just have to work a little harder. And the Eagles winning, 2 Super Bowls, from 52 and 59, that's brought, even greater things for us at the store.
Right.
We had a lot of the 08 guys. And we got Jimmy coming in the end of July. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge personality. I just love his laugh, his smile. I know he was pretty cool out there in Reading a couple of years ago, right? When you guys brought him into the
When
Reading
was that?
Hall of Fame.
When did you do the Hall of Fame?
Maybe
19, 18.
It was right before COVID, right?
Yeah, maybe 18, 19. I don't know, because we had Ryan the year before, I think, and then him, or maybe it was vice versa. But no, we've always just treated those guys real good, so they usually want to come back. They're all good, all three. Jimmy, Ryan, and Chooch, they were all good guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to light it up. It's neat seeing him and Ryan Howard doing their podcast at 611.
I haven't seen much of that, John.
Yeah, it's if you check out on the internet with the on the MLB channel, you can see it popping up.
All right.
Yeah, they're pretty good with it. They do a lot of different things.
All right.
And it's just the charisma just pops out.
Oh yeah. Well, they got big personalities.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's getting ready to pour here.
Yeah.
I think it's ready to pour again. I think it rains every Wednesday night. Well, it didn't rain last Wednesday night.
No. Well, it always rains here in Havertown with the farmers market.
Yeah, right. All right. So, couple different things. We've got a new segment. I don't know. How do you want to bring this into the show? Because you want to get it out there because you got guests that are lined up. You've got people that are following the show. So, Lauren, how do you want to approach this?
So it's a new segment. Well, it's kind of just a different version of the segment we've always done. So instead of Lauren's layups, the segment will be called Ask Away with Lauren. So it'll stay the same for these shows here, where it'll just be the one question that I ask you guys each week when we're not live. But then when we are live, I'll ask the guests between 5 to 10 questions just on various things. Sometimes it'll be related to sports, sometimes it won't. And it'll allow them to kind of tell a story. Sometimes, most of the time, what I realize is when they're not talking about sports or giving a sports answer, that normally tells a very personal story, or it tells you a sports story that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten from the player.
Okay.
So we're going to try to tap into that. So we'll do that for every live show. So we'll feature that next Wednesday for the first time. But as far as this format, it'll stay the exact same. We're just kind of rebranding it.
Okay. I like it. John, you got that figured out? Because I'm already lost.
Oh yeah, I got it figured out.
What is there to be lost about?
I'm only kidding. I'm just trying to throw some light on the subject. That's all.
Yeah. The questions get more intense. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You got the spotlight on you now.
All right. So as we cruise through the night, and we're already well past 7 o'clock, and I know, John, I kind of called you out this morning because I honestly had the Phillies, you know, on my mind like I do
Oh
most
yeah.
times. But they surprised us today. They put up a 13 spot.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know, when was the last time they scored 13 runs like that and held the opponent to zero.
Right. Now, it's been a while. It's been a while, and it's one good thing about this team. We as fans get crushed. After a loss like that last night. The first time it's happened since 1926 that a catcher's walked off inside the park, walk off home run, and we were also part of other history. The first time in baseball history ever, we were the second half of it. One guy led off the game with a inside the park home run in the Oakland Athletics game, or Anaheim. Right now I guess they are the A's game, and then the Phillies ended the game with the walk off inside the park home run. So that's never happened. So yeah, it's brutal. And it's just. But that's the good part about this team. They shrug it off, they just flush it and move on, and and can turn the page. But it's frustrating to sell. That's for sure.
So you sound like Rob Thompson, because that's exactly what he said post game last night and pre game today. That we're a veteran team, and we just turn the page and move on. Um, I just, that's got to be the hardest thing ever. You just got crushed 12 hours prior to, right? And they've been having problems with Romano. Um, you know, it's just gotta be painstaking for them to just say, okay, boys, let's put on a clean uniform and go after it. And that, I mean, I don't know. Verlander had their number, most of the day. They were scratching a run here and scratching a run there.
Right.
And then they took him out of the game. I don't know, what was it, 4-0, 5-0.
Yeah.
And then they just absolutely destroyed all those pitchers that the Giants brought in. But I guess, I don't know. Is this what we have, that they can shrug off a loss like this and just come back and to win a game like this today, right? 13-0, last day in San Francisco, and you move on to San Diego. They're off tomorrow, right? So that's
They're off tomorrow, yeah.
So you got 3 in San Diego for the weekend. I mean, how does that play into the momentum?
Hopefully, it takes them into the these final 3 games with the on a high, and they can roll that into it instead of having another game like the night before going in the reverse type of thing. But when you got starting pitching going, Luzardo pitched a great game, went 7 innings, shutout innings.
Yep.
He bounced back a little bit today.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good.
You're going to have Wheeler pitching on Friday when the first game with the Padres, and Christopher Sanchez to end up on Sunday. So you got 2 hopefully 2 wins there. You're going to count with 2 of your better pitchers, and
okay.
Rangers pitching on Saturday as well. So you're hoping that you're going to have.
You're throwing the 3 big horses at San Diego, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So and that's what this team's built on. The starting rotation.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, it'll be good to see. And,
okay.
Hopefully that's a good sign. Because remember last year we went into we got swept, didn't we, with the Oakland Athletics? I think last year.
I believe so, John. I believe you're right.
I know the last game was like 9. They scored like 15 runs or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was something crazy
right before the All-Star break. So hopefully we turn that around and
all right,
head in with a positive. Losing some power.
Did they just blink?
Yep.
I thought so. hope you don't lose me. But
You're on battery.
yeah,
You
I
got
know.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
but the Wi-Fi goes out. But
Yeah.
anyway, since I guess we didn't have a chance to discuss anything about the NBA draft, the NFL draft, the NHL draft, um, you guys, Anthony, Lauren, you guys had a chance to digest the NBA and what the Sixers did. I know you're big hoopsters.
Not really, to be honest. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Just wasn't really on our radar this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
simple answer.
Yeah.
Simple
Sorry.
answer. No, it's all good because I don't know. This kid, VJ Edgecombe, looks like he's got a somewhat of a maxi personality. Um, he's not shy in front of the camera. It looks like he can
Right.
play a little bit. Um, I don't know. I don't know what that does for the Sixers. But they brought back a couple of the old guys. They brought back Eric Gordon. Um,
Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry from Villanova kid. It's not a kid anymore. How old is he now? Is he like 40 years old?
I think they said 40 or 42.
Wow. Okay. So I still got a shot.
Yeah.
Still got a chance.
Yeah. I mean, it's I kind of like, the good thing about VJ, his story behind him.
Right. Yep.
I'm hoping that he can, take this to the next level and become the star that we hope that he could be here in Philadelphia. Because
John, let me ask you: can he and Maxi coexist together?
I think so. I mean, at least the way way his game was going. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He seemed to. I mean, it was one game, and he hurt himself, his thumb. That he was out for the next 2 games after that, but. Yeah, I mean, he scored 28 points. He didn't seem shy. He seemed to be, aggressive. Doing what he was doing, which is what you like to see. I mean, obviously it's against other guys that are in that winter summer camps. So you're not playing against the elite guys of the NBA, but. I like it. And like I said, I just like that story. He came from nothing. Like you said, he had like 7 years that he was living off of a generator at home. Where he's from.
Yep.
So for him to have a lot of.
What can anybody break that down?
Her eye candy is back.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but
our good friend Steve Swoop, Gordon and Lowry have pictures on Maury. Yeah. They were a couple surprising moves. I didn't quite. I don't know.
Well, Gordon's was a player option, so of course he was taking it because they're the only team giving him money.
Okay. Yeah, well, that was the same thing with who was the other kid? Didn't he have like an $8 million player option?
Yeah, but the one guy I thought he rejected it, but then he came back though. So you get him under the cap though.
Drummond, the same thing. He had a $5 million cap option.
Yeah, I mean they got all these old guys now. It's coming back. It's you got to hope that some of these young guys do take over and. Become what all
right. Well, that's all of our NBA action, all lumped into one. I only have one comment. I hope this Cooper Flag kid is all that at number 1. So I hope he's all that and a fresh container of popcorn because man, that kid's going to have a lot of pressure on his butt.
Yeah.
College basketball is one thing, but the NBA is another. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, true. Yeah, I mean, it's a big jump. Especially
it's a tough physical game. Just ask Caitlin Clark. From college to the WNBA. You know what I mean? She's getting banged around every night.
Oh
you know what I mean? And this kid will too. It's just a completely different game. But hey, good luck to all these kids that got drafted real quick on the Flyers. Um, I would have never thought in the history of Flyers hockey that they would do a deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins, but they did a trade and moved up and got two pretty high first round picks that look pretty promising. So hopefully we're on the move.
Yeah.
So
Signed a couple players, this week.
yeah, I mean, you got to fill out the roster, right? Isn't that what you tell me all the time?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know.
What do you think of Morgan Frosto? Signing.
I thought that was a lot of money for a lot of years. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. I thought that was, he's shown glimpses of being a number one, but he's also been in the doghouse.
Right.
So who knows? That was a lot of money. 5 years, $5 million a year. So I mean, he's set for life, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they got to get a goalie though, right? Got to get a goaltender. Got to, you got to be able to stop the puck.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, that's for sure.
you guys there in Reading are very quiet tonight. I'm kind of like trying to pick your brain about a hot topic or anything. You got anything that we need to talk about, know about?
Just ask away.
You got John and I, and you got a whole board of people who just love to hear your comments.
Hear my comments on
Anything.
oh
Anything. All right, we're gonna jump ship. We're no longer Lauren's layups. We're now ask away with Lauren. So here's your segue. I'm throwing it to you. I can hardly wait.
All right, so we're going to go back to an old question. So this is a two-parter tonight. We're going to go back to an old question because I gotta actually write this one down for the record book, because this will be a question that I ask every live show guest moving forward to see how our leaderboard shakes out. So, how many hot dogs can you eat in one sitting?
Like if you were trying to eat a lot, or just normally.
I wouldn't say
'Cause I'm
this
not
is
gonna-
like a hot dog eating contest, but like comfortably.
If it's a dollar dog night, or if it's or a normal night.
Oh,
Does
this is a lot of
No,
particulars
it's
here.
not though, because you can't answer
Like
that
my
question.
answer is easy, two. I could eat two hot dogs. That's it.
But if it was a dollar dog night and I'm trying to eat as many as I can, that's a different answer. So what are your questions?
My question is comfortably, how many hot dogs can you eat in one sitting?
4.
See, was that so difficult?
All right, I'm going to spin off at Anthony, and I'm going to be even more difficult because if I was getting paid, I could eat a hell of a lot more
Right, sure.
than if I wasn't. And kudos to Joey Chestnut, 70.5 hot dogs. 70.5. How much you think, Anthony? How much money you think he made?
Well, I don't know what that deal was with that hot dog company before. For him to leave that, I don't think they historically get paid very much. That's what you hear from these guys. They don't get really paid much, so they want to do their own endorsements. They're on YouTube, they're on this, they're on that, because they're not getting paid enough. But because that's the big contest, everyone wants to be in it. The problem is, I don't know. I don't think you can get paid more than like $100,000. It's not like
I could eat a whole lot of hot dogs for $100,000.
Okay, so how many hot dogs could you eat if you were in a hot dog eating contest then?
Well, I don't know how to.
And $100,000 was on the line.
Not nearly as many as I think. Maybe 10 before I feel like I'm going to throw up. I mean, those guys are outrageous to be able to do that.
I love the process, though. They soak the roll. They get the roll all soggy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that to me is disgusting. You eat, socking up getting it all wet. Oh, that just. I can't even watch just because of that.
All right, you're going
Johnny. $100,000.
Oh, I know.
You're going 4 hot dogs in one sitting.
Like if I'm at home and you say, how many hot dogs can you eat? I could eat 4. If I'm in a contest, I probably could eat more.
Well, I understand part of what Anthony's saying because and I think
you got to push past your uncomfortability, and I don't.
I think you kind of opened this up when we were out in Pittsburgh and it was dollar dog night, and those god awful dollar dogs that they throw at you are horrible.
By the
Well,
way,
that's the thing too. Is like how good are these hot dogs?
well,
What's
for the record,
caliber of the hot dog?
the hot dogs they had for that dollar hot dog night were not just typical hot
Large,
dogs.
large regretting this change of
You know what?
topic.
I redact my question.
Those hot dogs they threw out were not their normal hot dogs. They were terrible.
They were horrible.
Yeah, they were not worth even $1.
And
Okay,
I'm a big
pretend-
fan of Nathan's hot dogs. I
Let's
love
pretend
Nathan's hot dogs.
it's a good, solid hot dog.
Okay.
This is not a hot dog eating contest. This is just if you're in the backyard, it's a barbecue, and you're allowed to eat as many hot dogs as you want. How many are you eating?
4 if I had no hamburgers or anything.
Who said anything about hamburgers?
You gotta have room in your stomach. I'm not gonna just start eating hot dogs.
We're not talking about any other food consumption. We're just talking about hot dogs.
I'm eating
Do
nothing
you
else.
put ketchup on your hot dog?
Oh.
No, so there's no pasta salad or anything like that. We're just strictly hot dogs.
We
This question wasn't- this
we
wasn't
just
thought
sent
out.
this show off
This
the
question,
rails.
this question wasn't this difficult the last time I asked you guys this.
Well, you didn't explain.
The numbers just spiked though as we're
Oh,
messing
of
with
course.
the numbers.
Of course. Okay, so everybody who's on with us tonight, let's hear how many hot dogs that you can enjoy, whether it's at
Yeah,
your family
enjoy.
barbecue, at the stadium, whatever.
Look at me.
You could put me down for 6.
6.
6. And I like yellow mustard. I don't like that brown hot mustard.
I know that.
John, how many?
I would say 8.
That's a lot. Damn, John.
Well, Joe Stinger's jumping in with 5. See, I mean, we're I
Well, I'm
said
just saying,
6.
if you're not like you said, if you're not having hamburgers or cheeseburgers or whatever, yeah. I mean, I'll eat
No,
three.
there's
I'll eat,
no
I'll eat
other,
3 or
no
but
other
I'll eat-
food involved.
No, I'm saying, but I'll eat 3 or 4 burgers. So
Wow. All right.
John, do you put ketchup on your hot dog?
no, that's a mortal sin.
I love it.
John, what do you put on your hot dogs?
Mustard,
Mm.
a spicy mustard. Like not like super hot, but a spicy mustard and onions.
Okay. Tony, you're a plain guy, right?
Plain. I'll put ketchup if there's nothing else because I don't like mustard. I like chili, cheese, that sort of stuff.
Well, now you're spinning a Chicago dog in front of us with all the good toppings.
Now you can only eat like 3 or 4 of them. Because
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation right there.
This is why it had to be clarified. How many what kind of hot dogs.
No, it doesn't need to be clarified. I'm just on with a bunch of idiots.
Wow! Wait a minute, girl.
Joe Stinger and Steve had no problem answering. Then have follow-up questions.
Well,
Because they heard us asking all the questions.
Unbelievable.
I
Okay.
mean, Anthony took the first bullet, asking all the questions, and then we had follow-ups after that.
All right. Second question. Since it's summertime,
Thought there was
what
only
is
one
your
story.
favorite flavor ice cream?
That's hard.
Only one?
Yes,
were
you can
on.
only give one flavor. I know. The problem is
No.
4 people understand that comment about Bob's Grill.
I'm going to go with... Ooh, that's a tough one, because I like a couple. Oreo cream will be... Oreo cookies and cream will be like...
Cookies and cream. That's a good one.
So
I like Tin Roof Sundae, though, too. But
What's a tin roof sundae?
summertime ice cream. So is that different than January, February, and March? I mean, like
Sure. Could
Listen,
be.
this is going to be Ask Away with Lauren, one and done. If I have to clarify every question.
Well, you don't explain properly.
This isn't a summer ice cream. This is just what is your favorite ice cream flavor? And the reason I'm asking it is because it's summer and people tend to eat more ice cream in the summer.
But we got a legal pad here, and it says that you sign up for 2-year contracts, so you still have to pay for it even if it's one and done.
you
Really
can,
hard
you
to
can
name one.
spin it any way you want. We're having fun with it.
Johnny, what's a tin roof sundae?
It's fudge ripple ice cream, basically. Like a chocolate swirls, fudge ripple with, I think it's beer nuts mixed in.
Okay.
A beer nuts and then like a chocolate like a chocolate peanut butter cup maybe or something like that, like little things to make it like the tin roof, I guess.
All right. Fair enough.
I think we got ice cream fans on the show tonight because
Steve answered mango. I don't really ever think about mango ice cream. I think about mango water ice.
I will say in Steve's defense, there's always mango ice cream.
It's these Florida people. We got mango and coffee.
Yeah, I mean, coffee ice cream's got to be pretty good.
The problem is there's a lot of good things, and they get mixed together, but you don't see them all the place. So we get this chocolate raspberry at this one place we go to, but I never buy that somewhere.
Well, I also never see it anywhere else.
No, chocolate with anything is usually good, like Rocky Road, but I never buy that.
Right.
I like pistachio, but it'd be better if it had like some like chocolate in there, which sometimes they have. So it's hard to answer the question. There's a lot of ice cream.
Sorry.
Want to be called
I'm a Ben and Jerry Garcia guy. That's probably my number one.
Well, they got the best ice cream, Ben and Jerry's. They got so many good flavors.
What's that one? Wasn't it like a Jimmy Fallon one?
Yeah, they got one with like pretzels and chocolate.
I love pretty much any chocolate ice cream that has like stuff in it.
You sound like your mother. You sound like your mother.
There's one at Johnny B. Good down in Ocean City, New Jersey. It's called like Grandma Jane's Cookie Jar or something like that. And it's chocolate ice cream, but in it are Oreos, chocolate chip cookies, and what did I tell you the other one was that time? There's a third cookie in there, but I can't remember what it was. But they're all like mashed up in there. It's really good.
So did you guys like the Graham Slam too that the Phillies had?
I like that. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
The graham cracker variety. Yeah. That was good. I enjoyed that. They don't do that anymore, right?
Yeah, it's very, very, very rare that you see it now.
Yeah, I don't think they do it anymore.
Yeah, I
think it came back like maybe like 2 years ago. Like it came back for like a short period of time. But yeah, I don't know if they have that much because that was a Turkey Hill one.
Let me. Do you guys pay close attention? I'm sure you do, John, because you watch every Phillies game. But the guys in the box always, John Kruk, Tom McCarthy, they always talk about Frank, the ice cream guy, because they get fed, right? They get fed, they eat, but they always talk about this guy Frank, that handles all the ice cream, and they mention some of these oddest flavors.
Yeah.
So, and Kruk's like, all right, let me have it, and he gets 3 scoops.
Right. Oh yeah, they definitely have a lot of different flavors that they mix in there. But
yeah,
just give me the Phillies Graham Slam or cookies and cream. Yeah. Fudge Ripple with tin roof.
That surprises me that you like something fancy.
I don't think any of them are fancy.
I don't think the tin roof sundae is meant to be fancy. I think it's meant to sound like it's like
it's thinking Turkey Hill.
Yeah, like it has like a hick name to it.
It's not. I mean? It's not like a foo Breyers ice cream or
Yeah, it's got like a blue collar name to it.
Let me ask Mr. Redding over there. What's the number one flavor at the stadium that's sold?
Well, they sell chocolate, vanilla, and mint chocolate chips. So I would imagine it would be.
So there's only 3 flavors available?
That's it. We don't mess around.
You don't mess around.
So you have Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. That's not the same. Right. Ice cream. We have chocolate, vanilla, and mint chocolate chip. And I would say mint chocolate chip is growing very quickly. A lot of people get it. You can get milkshakes now.
Dunkin' just added a flavor mint chocolate chip. You can get it in your coffee.
Yeah.
People say
really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And Joe's asking if sherbet is ice cream, but if it was ice cream, it wouldn't be called sherbet. It's sherbet.
Well, the question is never going to be what's your favorite flavor sherbet.
Well, I mean, it could be, but I mean,
that's like nursing home material, right?
Oh, poor Joe.
It's the Florida thing again. I'm telling you.
You got a
well. How about Coors Brother down the shore? Orange and vanilla.
Oh, the orange and vanilla. That when you're getting a soft serve like that, yeah.
Orange and vanilla. And when did Jimmy's or Sprinkles? I mean, every person walking down the boardwalk has Sprinkles or Jimmy's on their ice cream. Do you see that at home?
Well, I don't see many people eating ice cream at home.
It's definitely a sure thing, but you got to get like that extra large.
Oh, of course, you got to get the mega cone.
Whatever the biggest is, and then make it even taller. The
Joe, we're not throwing you under the bus, Joe. We're having fun with you.
Listen, I'll eat soft serve if you give it to me, but I'm not. It's not gonna be my first choice.
Never picking soft
like
serve.
that, like the vanilla with the orange. That's fine once every now and then.
What was the one we got in Vermont? It was like a maple.
Oh, there's a maple. There's a maple one they have in Vermont.
Well, that's maple country, isn't it?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Up there close to Canada.
But isn't that when you're on the boardwalk though? A soft serve is a lot better because like I don't know, people get like the hard ice cream on the boardwalk.
There's a Ben and Jerry's that the line wraps around the boardwalk.
Yeah, I know, but like if you're walking around with it, like it's so much easier to have the soft serve.
Yeah, it's easier to eat the soft serve.
You know,
you guys
you need a spoon with.
All right, so we gotta put the wrap on this. How do we do on our first ask Lauren?
You did all right.
She doesn't care for it.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of clarifications required.
Well, the
live guests won't be so difficult.
Well, the questions you asked weren't helpful.
Yeah, well, hopefully this test run, the all the kinks
test run.
Yeah. We'll take care of all the questions, so the questions will be a little bit more clear.
All right, we're back to Lauren's layups tonight. All right,
man, Joe. You're not the only one getting thrown under the bus, so I'm with you.
If we're not busting chops, then we don't like you.
Yep, a lot of love right here. A lot of love.
Yeah.
lot of love on the board. We thank everybody. We appreciate everybody joining us. Come out next week. Come out next Wednesday to Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, boneless. How about that? How about that new hitch? Boneless appetizers.
What's that mean?
There's 4 or 5 different appetizers, and what I say boneless, I meant endless. Endless, and you could just keep ordering and ordering and ordering.
Wow!
But you can't take them home.
That's good.
$10. $10.
What are the offerings?
Buffalo.
I don't know. Fried pickles. Mozzarella sticks, onion rings,
salsa dip, spicy dip.
How's the chips and dip?
Yep, they got that too.
Those are good.
It has one of them.
So does it mix and match?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you able? Yes. You're able to get.
Yep. You have to let your waiter or waitress know ahead of time what you're doing.
Right.
Okay.
You can't pull a fast one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stick. Thank you, Joe Stinger. It is all in fun. We enjoy it. When we stop enjoying it, stop having fun, we're going to stop doing it. So,
yeah,
we enjoy a good time.
Oh yeah.
You guys all good? We got caught up with Reading Fighting Phil. Sounds like they got a lot of giveaways coming up over the next 4 or 5 weeks.
A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff.
Yep.
A lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And Lauren, hopefully next week you're able to make it, because we're going to raise all the money we raise next week is going to go to Humane Pennsylvania. So
thank you very much. Appreciate that.
We'll have some good raffle prizes. Hopefully we'll have a lot of people jumping in, partaking in it, and we'll have fun. We always do. Johnny,
if she doesn't make it, it's going to be ask away with Lauren and John's rants all in one.
Yeah, and you can't email it to us either.
Right.
No. This is an in-person thing.
In person.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Big responsibilities now.
Yeah, threw it on her shoulders.
Great. I needed a few more things. Thanks, guys.
There you go. There you go. Johnny, you all good?
All good.
All right.
It's pouring here.
It is pouring here in Glen Mills.
Oh yeah, it is pouring. Yeah.
Lauren and Anthony, you guys good?
Yeah.
All good.
We're going to eat dinner.
You're going? Where are you going?
Well, we're not going anywhere. We're just going to eat dinner.
To make dinner.
Yep.
10-4. All right, guys and gals, everybody who joined us tonight, thank you, and come out and see us next week at Buffalo Wild Wings if you're close by.
Sounds good. Enjoy.
Otherwise, you'll see us the following Wednesday.
Yes.
All right.